Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we've got another GD01 meta match for the Gundam card game, and we're like a day or two away from the first set releasing, so I know I'm really excited. I know a lot of you guys are really excited, and I really can't wait for the new cards to come out. So a couple of things before we get started. First, if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe. We make a lot of Gundam content, and I don't want you guys to miss it. Also, this was from a live stream that I did earlier this week with Aandroidd. If you guys want to find the full live stream, you can find it linked in the description. We play for like 4 hours and we've got 6 different decks that we play, so I think it's a really good resource for anyone trying to see what this game looks like and seeing some just example games. Lastly, if you guys want to see any of the deck lists that I've been working on, some tournament deck lists or anything else, you can find them on my website Eggman Events, which is linked in the description. The deck list we're going over today will be found there. I have been updating this as we get more and more events, which is, we're still not in the official format yet, so it's going to be a little bit dry right now, but we're going to continue to update it. We've got my personal list, which I'll be updating when I have new ones. The ones that we're going over today are the Cyber-Newtype Blue-Red, as well as the Wing Gundam Zero, and we also have tournament deck lists as well. So even if I don't have like the full data, I do try to get a couple deck lists, and these have been from some community events. And when I have my own this weekend too, we'll update this page too. So make sure to check that out if you haven't already. But jumping into it real quick, we got 2 different decks. This is the red and blue like Cyber-Newtype, the Banshee deck. There's kind of a couple names for this one in particular, but this is like the kind of most successful aggressive deck that I've really found in this game so far. I know a lot of people have been kind of focusing on like more of the Xeon stuff, and I do think that is good, but it does kind of run out of steam a little bit, and I don't find that as much for this deck. I feel like the top end is really good, and we get a lot of ways to like put bodies on board and get a lot of like little trades here and there. So we kind of start off with the early game with the Jin as well as the Jim, both these being able to just be like pretty early cards we put out, and with a little bit of a boost, we are able to get rid of a EX base, especially if we have the Visalis as our base to start us off, which is pretty good for us. We have cards like the Rizel as well, just bulky bodies that like we get to do some favorable trades and have a lot of aggression towards things, even if like they put up a 5 HP base. Being able to use like the Visalis to be able to have the Rizel get rid of that base is really nice. And then we also do kind of have like our mid game, so kind of the most important card in this deck I think is the Merida Cruise. This just gets so much value in so many ways. During link on attack, choose one enemy unit whose level is equal to or lower than this unit, and you get to deal 1 damage to it. So this is really strong. This lets you get some really good trade potential, I find, and then being able to use that to like get some 1-for-1 trades or 2-for-1 trades is really helpful. So we have like cards like Gun Tank as well as the Anksha. These being able to let us get like an additional 1 damage to targets that need to is really nice. We also have ways to rest cards, which helps us get some favorable trades too, with not only Aandroidd, which does have the link with the gun cannon, but also with the Unicorn Gundam O2 Banshee. This also just has a when paired effect, so you can get like a double rest with this, or use it to have a link with Merida Cruise and get this 6/4 attack, and then also get that additional ping. So that's very nice. And then we have the Kshatriya here. This being able to not only become a 7 AP, which lets you like trade into like Wing or like some other kind of bigger blockers at times, but also the when paired effect is for Cyber-Newtype and New-Type Pilot type. So not only does the Merida get this effect when you also just link with it, but then you do get the Amuro effect with it. So you do just get like all this like little incremental damage, which you are able to eventually like ping down and make it difficult for your opponent to like trade favorably. You get a lot of pressure on the board, and then after that, like your opponent's going to have to be worried about the Banshee mode, so Banshee destroy mode rather. So I was kind of like up in the air about what my thoughts about for what this card is. I think in this build specifically, it's fine. It's a little bit inconsistent here and there. And there are just times where like 12 cards into your trash is a little bit of a ask to do, but when you get there, this can really like close out a lot of games, but it also only links with Merida, and so you need Merida to get this effect off, which is kind of stinky at times, because again, like we only have 4 copies of that card. We only have so much card draw with a Show of Resolve, and if we don't see our Merida Cruise, I feel like this deck has a lot of issues in that point. So there are some ways to add like a little bit more card draw. I've been seeing some people play like the additional Gundam from the first set, like the not the Unicorn, but like the old one that does have a card draw if you have it paired. So like there are some ways to get that additional card draw, but I don't know, I've been finding this one's pretty good. I feel like you're running out of steam, like you barely do enough damage to get to 6, but you do get there. I think blue just helps you get that additional value trade that really helps you, and then you kind of go wide on board and hope they don't have a way to interact with it. So I've been really liking this deck more than I thought I would, and there it is there. And then the deck that Michael Aandroidd was playing was also the green and blue Wing Gundam Zero, which I still don't know what I think is the best way to play this deck. If blue-green is the best way or white-green is the best way. I think both of them are pretty comparable, but obviously the benefits from having this build is having, again, the Amuro Ray and Show of Resolve 2 cards. We're also playing in the other build as well. We do also have access to like the Rizel. I think the vanilla Gundam's actually a little bit better than I was expecting. Just being able to play this for 2, it means like if you are on, like if you're going second and you're level 4 at the EX resource, you can play this Gundam and Amuro and be able to like keep the EX resource but still get the trade that you need, which is really nice. We are really focused on just playing duo with Gundam Death Scythe on 6 to be able to go from 7 and then 8 into the Wing Zero. So I think that's pretty strong. This is definitely a deck that has like some issues with consistency every once in a while because we don't have that much draw and we're really dependent on finding our curve when we need it, or like finding like the duo with the Gundam Death Scythe. We do have like the Path of Victory or Defeat to be able to help us get that consistency a little bit more, but it's really tough, especially since like both of these can still like pair with the other pilot, right? Either duo or hero, but clearly it's way better when you have it linked with the actual pilot for the additional effect for it. But it's still fine. I don't think this deck is bad in that way, but sometimes you're just like, man, I have 2 duos in my hand, but I don't have any heroes, and I really need the other one. Like it's really tricky to be able to find the pilots that you need at the right time. But I think this deck is good if you are able to see like Wing Gundam on curve or like Death Scythe to get like a really nasty trade. This deck really takes off. So this is the build here. Those are the decks we're playing today, and enjoy the match. All right, we've got me on the left again with the Cyber-Newtype, and we've got Michael on the right with the green and blue Wing Gundam Zero. Nothing from us turn 1, nothing too surprising, but nothing for me for level 2 is a little bit of a slow start for me. I usually like to have like 1 copy of like a Jin or Jim out, but we do end up passing there. Michael's going to play out the Duos Leo there, a pretty good way to like trade for the early board and pass it back. We do have the Vasalis here, which is our base, being able to take a card from our shields and then play out the Rizel, a really great card on this level 3. This is going to really pressure the EX base, and the Duos Leo really can't interact with it either. So looking for what Michael's going to do on level 4 with 3 resources and 1 EX resource. Looks like going to pay 3 for the Gundam, and maybe think about using an Amuro with the EX, but just instead attacking into the base and passing back. So we're going to be at level 4 ourselves here, and deciding what we want to do, and it's just going to play a Show of Resolve. So yeah, a pretty slow start for me, but I do notice like this deck compared to like other aggressive decks can still have a chance even with a slow start. So being able to play out a Jim here, we got rid of the EX base with the Rizel attack and pass it back to Michael. So this does lend for a pretty good board trade if he wants to do so. So looking at this, we do have the Duos Leo that can attack active level 2. We have the Rizel and the Gundam trading, and then we do have the Leo there. So luckily no copies of like Amuro to again like let that repair, like get the extended value for the Gundam here. And thinking about what to do with the rest of the turn here. So looking at 3 resources for Show of Resolve himself to draw the 2. Got 2 resources left open, and looks like just passing it back to me. So we're going to be at level 5 with this new resource right here, and we are going to play out the Kshatriya as well as the Jim and pass it back. So I think what is like kind of particular about this build is like we're really good at putting like bodies on the board. Sometimes you have to kind of just like give up like a deploy effect or something just to get that extra tempo, and we can be pretty nasty with how much pressure we can exert. So Michael's still at 6 shields, but not a fantastic start. It looks like we do have a Wing Gundam, and we do have the Hero Yui here to be able to attack into something. Looks like likely going to attack into the Gym, which is also going to get the Breach 5 and get rid of my base there. So one of the, I think the duo would have been a little bit better to get that extra resource here, but still doing some pressure, and that base does get some value here. So we just end up crashing 5 to 5 HP there. We're going to play out another Show of Resolve, get another draw 2. And we've got 3 resources left for this turn, and it looks like we're going to play out another Rizel and as well a gun tank. So, it does feel bad to not have the effect for the gun tank, but another body on the board does mean some more pressure when there isn't any base for Michael there. So looking top 5 with the command here, deciding to get the duo off the top of the deck and add it to hand here. One of the few actual search cards in this deck and in the game in general, so really nice to get that pressure. And we do have the duo with the Gundam Death Scythe here, being able to use this to get some pressure, get that resource there, and deciding if they want to attack or not. They don't have to attack here, but they do have the opportunity for it, and yeah, deciding to hit us down to 4 shields. So no burst from the shields there, and going to pass it back to me. I'm going to be first attacking with the gun tank here, getting them down to 5 shields, and then deciding, you know, do I want to like try to trade, or what's my best play? We're going to use the Vasalis again, so we're going to go down to 3 shields. We're going to attack 4 into shields here, no burst again from Michael. And then we're just going to go a little bit wider. We're going to play another copy of the Kshatriya, and also playing out the Jin. So we could have like traded into the Death Scythe, but I feel like I don't want to like give up time by having them attack into things. Like they can trade really well into stuff anyways, but I think this is kind of worth it. So playing the Underground Desert base, which that 6 health is really obnoxious at some times, so really good base there. Also, just like a 1 resource draw 1 is not too bad in this game either. And looks like Michael is missing out. Wing Zero, I think, could be played this turn. I think it was also a concession where if he had it, he had it. I didn't see him like draw it quite yet, and I did think it was like a little bit scary. But I'm gonna have the Gundam with the link with the Aandroidd here, getting the rest on the Kshatriya there. And this is a 6-6 duo, so this is going to be able to survive with 1 HP. And thinking about what for the Gundam here, and yeah, we're going to take 4 damage. We're going to repair 2 at the end of the turn. Play out another Rizel, though, before we do. And now Michael's got a pretty wide board himself to, you know, it's going to be a little bit difficult for us to interact with. But we're going to use the gun tank there. Going to attack into the Death Scythe there. We're going to just kind of go even with board while we can. We're going to play out a Banshee Destroy mode. Just for 4 resources, going to play out a Rizel and a Kshatriya as well, the vanilla. And we do have more than 12 cards in our trash, so if we do have a Merida Cruise, we do have a chance to do some extra damage in these next turns. So Rizel's a pretty strong card, but 4 AP feels pretty bad against a base with 1 HP left, playing out 2 gun cannons and then passing it back to me. So we are going to use the AP boost here to take the 1 damage off the shields. We're going to attack down to 1 shield. Hero Yui added to hand off the burst for Michael, so did get a good burst there. And then deciding what to do for the rest of my turn. So we're going to actually play out 2 more bodies, 2 Banshees, 1 destroy mode and 1 not destroy mode, and pass it back to Michael. So 1 shield left. This is a pretty scary board, so we're going to have to answer part of this. And looks like we're going to attack the gun cannon into likely the Banshee. Yeah, this is going to take 2 damage here. This also is a level 4 here, so there are some like opportunities there. I think it was like a minor misplay. It might have been better to attack the Rizel into the Banshee and then maybe attack the other gun cannon into the shields. Just because we are level 6, so we are outside of the Wing Zero. And there's the Wing Zero, gets some good clear damage there, putting me down to just 1 copy of Banshee, and also having the link with the Hero Yui, getting rid of the base after all. So maybe could have put me down to 2 shields, which might have been a little bit scarier. We do have the Merida Cruise here off the top of the deck, being able to get the link here, and now we have our attacking effect. So 12 cards from our trash is going to the bottom of our deck. It should be randomized, but I know this is just the end of the game anyways. And if this is a base, we lose, but it's just a duo burst, and then we get to attack again and go for game. So pretty close game. I think it could have gone either way. I think this deck is really cool, and I really enjoyed playing it more than I thought I would, at least. So that's going to be it for this one. Again, if you guys want to see the full VOD, it's linked in the description. Thank you again to Michael for playing with me, and thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.